Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I'd like to welcome you, dear viewers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace and blessings be on all of you, to another in the series, In the Light of Islam. In this series, we are looking at various questions which you, dear viewers, have written in, asking about different aspects of Islam. We are looking in this segment on some issues concerning Hajj, and we'll also be looking at some general questions with regards to the implementation of Islam. The first question is one from Abu Dhabi, written by Sister Sharifa Bano. She writes, Dear Dr. Bilal, Assalamu alaikum. I wish to have information regarding the following questions. 1. Can a woman perform Hajj without a mahram? 2. In ihram, is a woman allowed to remove her scarf to make wudu? 3. Why is it important to make Hajj early? Question number 1. Sister Sharifa, can a woman perform Hajj without a mahram? We have pointed out in earlier segments that is, according to a number of scholars, is permissible. If she has with her another group of women or other women who have with them mahrams, that she may accompany them. For those viewers who are not familiar with the term mahram, mahram refers to a male relative who a woman may not marry, or her husband, that is her father, her brother, her son, her uncle, grandfather. These are people whom she is not allowed to marry. Those among them who are above the age of puberty may accompany her as a mahram during the journey of Hajj. This is the norm. This is what is fundamentally required of her and recommended for her. In fact, a number of scholars hold that if she does not have a mahram available, then the requirements of Hajj are not fulfilled, therefore Hajj is not required of her. However, some scholars from the past as well as the present have held that if she is in a safe group of people, then it is permissible for her to do so. Among those who held that opinion is Aisha, wife of the Prophet Muhammad, may God's peace and blessings be upon him. She held that a woman may make Hajj without a mahram. And also amongst the scholars of schools of Islamic law, we have the scholars of the Shafi'i school as well as the Maliki school of Islamic law have held this position also. So, one may choose for oneself what one feels is most applicable. And if one did not make Hajj because he or she did not have a mahram, and the mahram and the concept of mahram is really there for her protection, if she does fear harm, etc., and in any given journey, especially journeys to over long distances, taking a number of days, the potential for harm to befall a woman is quite great. If a woman decides not to make Hajj until such and such a time occurs for her, then this is perfectly a legitimate choice on her part. She may desire to make the Hajj, and Allah will reward her for that desire. If she has not made the Hajj because she doesn't have with her a mahram. The second question, regarding a woman who is in ihram, in the consecrated state, where she has now made an intention for Hajj or for Umrah, and put on the garments that she'll be wearing for Hajj or Umrah. And these garments, as has been pointed out in other segments of the program, do not have to be any particular color, but they should conform with the standard for Islamic dress for the woman. That nothing should be seen of her except for her face and hands. She's not allowed to wear gloves, and she's not allowed to wear anything which will cover her face, like what is known as a niqab. However, if she wishes to wear an outer garment which she may put in front of her face to prevent people from observing her, she may do so. Now, when the time comes for her to make wudu, and she's in ihram, is she allowed to remove her scarf? Well, normally to make wudu, part of it involves wiping the hair. This is wiping with the wet hands from the front of the head to the back. This normally will require her to remove her scarf. However, it is permissible for her to wipe with her wet hands over her scarf without actually wiping her hair, or wiping just the front part of the hair and completing it on the scarf. This is permissible for a woman in any case. This was practice of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ when he wore a turban, covering his whole head, that he would make wudu. In the making of wudu, he would wipe his hands over the turban. Sometimes he wiped it touching the front part of the hair and then completing it on the remainder of the turban. So from that, for a woman to wear a scarf and to wipe over the scarf, it is permissible. So it's not required for her to remove her scarf. However, if she chooses to do so, it is permissible, but she should try to do so in a circumstance where she's not exposed to men who are not from her maharim. They're not mahram for her. She should not do it in public, in other words. The third question is regarding the importance of making Hajj early. That is, Hajj is obligatory on each and every one of us, Muslims. Whenever we have the means, as soon as the means is available to us, whether it is economic means, or whether it is physical means, or, transportational means, things have to do with transportation. Once the means, everything is there for us, then Hajj is obligatory on us. And to delay it is wrong. It is sinful to delay making Hajj once we have the means. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, may God's peace and blessing be upon him, had said that a person who delays Hajj after it has become obligatory, if he died in that state, and none of us knows when we're going to die, there would be no difference between him dying as a Christian or a Jew and dying in that state. So it is not a state to die in. We should have the intention for making Hajj. If we die not able to make it, but we had that intention, then Allah will reward us for that intention. So it is something which is required of us and required early. It has become a practice, a ritual practice amongst Muslims to delay Hajj till the latter years of their lives, based on the fact that the Prophet, may God's peace and blessing be upon him, had told us that whoever makes Hajj, which is accepted by God, he comes back from that Hajj like the day he was born, free from sin. And that the only reward for an acceptable Hajj is paradise. That is the full reward. So naturally, because people are looking at the Hajj in terms of the sin aspect, it purifies us from sin, they're thinking, well, I still have my youth. There's still a lot of sin I'd like to do. So I will continue doing sin, until I get so old, I can't do it anymore. I've run out of steam. Now is the time to go and make Hajj and just wipe out all that came before. This is a totally distorted view of Islam and Hajj. Because the Hajj that you make at that time will not be acceptable by God. If you have gone into Hajj with that kind of an intention, where you're just delaying it because you have so much sin you want to do, and you will just do it as a ritual to purify, that ritual will not purify you. Your Hajj will not be accepted. You will not be able to make the kind of Hajj which is required of you. So, dear viewers, it is very much outside of Islam to delay Hajj with this kind of mentality. What it is in fact doing is turning the Hajj into a mere ritual. And rituals will not give us salvation. The faith is the core. We have to approach Hajj with the correct faith. This is a sacrifice, not a convenience when we do it when it's convenient to us, but a sacrifice that we make of our wealth, our time, of our bodies. A spiritual journey, a spiritual opportunity for growth. We don't throw it away. We do it as soon as we can. This is the correct approach to making Hajj. If one is delayed for reasons beyond one's control, then of course, God is most merciful and rewards us according to our intentions. However, once we have the means, everything is available for us, it is now compulsory for us to make Hajj. And every delay is a sin, where we deliberately avoid doing what is compulsory on us. The second question that we have today, from Abu Dhabi also, written by John Richardson, he writes, "Dear Sir, no doubt you have been asked this before, but I am puzzled by those Muslims who want to rule by the Quran when it was written down 14 centuries ago. Surely such an ancient tome can have little relevance to today's modern technological society. Please explain this attitude and how it compares with logic and reason. Yours faithfully, John Richardson." Well, Mr. Richardson, I must say that first and foremost, every Muslim who is a true Muslim must desire that the law of Islam rule them as it did 14 centuries ago. Only a person who is not a true Muslim or who is ignorant of Islam would support the idea of being ruled by other laws of man's making instead of the laws revealed by God. So it is not an extreme position. This is not the position of the terrorists and the fundamentalists and the thises and the that's. No. It is a fundamental principle of Islam. As Allah said in the Quran, فَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Whoever does not judge, rule by what Allah has revealed is a disbeliever. This is the statement of God to all of mankind, in particular to the believers, that it is an act of disbelief to choose laws other than the divine laws to rule one's society. So, it is not an extreme position, but a fundamental position of Islam. Now, what is its relevance to today's technological society? The principles of Islam are universal principles. The laws of Islam are universal laws which have to do with the nature of man. God, who created man, knows the inner workings of his self, his soul, his physical body, his emotions. All aspects of the human being are known in the finest of details to God, because he is the one who created man. Therefore, when he set laws which are the universal laws, which do not change because the nature of man does not change. So these are the laws which form the core of Islam. Of course, there is room there with the development of society for us to make other laws to handle the issues of today. Stop signs. Okay, stop signs were not around in the time of the Prophet. May God's peace and blessings be upon him. You know, the traffic lights, red, yellow, green, they were not around in that time. Islam is not opposed to this development. It's not opposed